It was around the age of 12, I want to say, where I committed my first real crime, if that makes any sense.
What was it?
So basically, I went to school with this guy. We was rappers. We was trying to rap and stuff. We was little kids. So it was this guy. His dad used to like work for Master P. So like he had all the studio equipment and stuff and we used to go to his house and record and everything. But rewind back, he called me one day. He was like, "Man, you want to go shopping?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go shopping." So like he's like this white kid, and then he's coming to the projects to hang with me, but everybody liked him because I introduced him to all my friends. Like he was a rapper, like he was just cooler than everybody for real.
Right.
So I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go shopping." He's like, "Oh, I'm finna catch a cab over there. I got you." So he caught a cab. They was living like on Lake Wiley or something like that. He caught a cab all the way to the west side of Charlotte. So when he got there and everything, he was like, "Just come outside." He called me. Well, he didn't call me because it wasn't cell phones then.
Right.
I think he came and knocked on the door, I believe. And he had like money in his pocket. He's like, "Come on, man, we finna go to the mall. Which mall you want to go to first?" I'm like, "Shit, let's go to Freedom Mall." So Freedom Mall is like, we used to walk to Freedom Mall, as kids. So it's kind of like 10 minutes from where I lived at. So we catch the cab to Freedom Mall. So he got so much money on him that he's basically telling the cab, "Just wait, I don't care. You can let it run. We just gonna go in here and get some shoes and stuff. Then I want you to take us to another mall." So when we get out the cab, I'm like, "Man, what's up, man? Where does money come from?" He was like, "Man," he wouldn't tell me exactly where it came from. He was like, "Man, my mom and them, they got money, man. They just give me money all the time, man. I'm just coming to show love,
No.
And I'm I'm 12, so it's like I don't really care for real. But I'm really fascinated. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, "Man, give me some of it. Let me." So he gives me maybe $2,000.
Oh, we're not talking about a few $100. I thought he had $500 or something.
No, he had maybe $8,000-9,000.
Holy shit!
So he gave me $2,000 from my pocket. So I'm happy now. So we going in there. I'm getting Jordans. I bought my sister a pair of shoes. Like we getting everybody stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I get everybody that's in my house something. I even get my mom something. So we come back, we get in the cab driver waits, and we go to Eastland Mall. So this is a bigger mall. So what we did was the cab ended up dropping us off, and then we ended up catching the bus back to my house. So when we catch the bus back to my house, he hung out for a little bit, and he was like, "I got to go ahead and get back home." So he catches a cab. He calls the cab because back then, it's 333-3333. You know what I'm saying? He calls the cab and he goes back home. So I'm enjoying myself. I got my clothes. I got them laid out on the bed. I'm like, damn, this is a blessing. So my mom come home. My mom was a hustler, but she was a working woman. She never really did no criminal stuff. You know what I'm saying? My mom wasn't no criminal, but she was a hustler. Like she played cards and stuff like that, But she came home and she said, "Damn, where you get all this stuff from? You got everybody something?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "My friend John." His name was John. Yeah, this is
20. This is 30 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. So we was 12. Yes, actually, it was 30 years ago. So she was like, "Dang." She said, "That's a good friend." I was like, "Yeah, I got everybody something, and I got cash." And I gave my mom $500 of the cash. She was so happy. So fast forward, the next day comes, and I'm gone. I'm down in my grandma's neighborhood. So my grandma lived right around the corner. So I'm down there in the hood. I'm playing and stuff. So while I'm gone, the chief of police or something came to my house and knocked on the door with other cops too. It was
not good.
It's not good. Yeah. So come to find out, so my sister answers the door. They come in and they tell her "Hey, we coming to retrieve items that was purchased with stolen money." So basically, they explained to my sister, they was it was his granddad's. He went inside his granddad's safe. He had the code. Somehow he had the code, man, and he had done stole the money. And they found out about it, I guess, because when he came in with all this different stuff, it was suspicious. And then they noticed that the money was missing. So this what I did find out later. He had already been stealing small amounts of money before he even brought this to to me. So basically, anyway, she gave them back everything but the stuff I bought her. So my mom got off work, man. She was so mad at my sister, man. She said, "Why would you even open my door?" In the hood, your mom always tell you, don't open the door for nobody. I don't care who it is. If you don't recognize that, if it ain't me or a family member, don't open my door. So my mom was more mad about her opening up the door than giving the stuff back. And say, then you had the nerve. He thought about you and got you stuff, and you sat here and gave him all his shit. I mean, excuse me.
Yeah,
gave him all his stuff. And I was like, I didn't understand it because my mom came and picked me up, and she was fussing and cussing and stuff, and she was like, yeah, baby, but I still had the money. They never got the money back, the rest of the money. So I was like, I ain't really care. It was right before school's finna start back. It was over the summer. Like, I ain't care. And, that was really like, so me and him, when he came back to school that following year, I was like, man, why you do that? Like, why you ain't tell me, man? I would have told you a better way of, being able to hide it. Like, you could have left your stuff in my house. They would have never knew. He was like, man, it's all good, man. Back then you wasn't really mad at your friends because, hell, I still kept the money.
We started calling Starbucks HR line and listening to the menu options. We got an app for recording phone calls. And we started recording the menu options for the line, and we rebuilt it in Grasshopper with the whole phone tree. But all the extensions came back to one phone on Grasshopper, and it was very convincing. And if you heard, we added one extension in the securities department for a chief compliance officer named Kevin White. At first, we were trying to like woo him, I guess, like, hey, I'm calling from corporate. We got a problem. Can you help us out? We need you to be a team player right here. And then I realized that is exactly not how somebody from corporate would call if they were pissed about what we were calling about. So call and catch the manager and be like, listen, the district manager's getting hit for embezzlement. The FBI's coming in the store, 9 a.m. I need everything out of the store. Count the cash up, get everything ready to go, $200 in each drawer, get everything inspection ready. We cannot afford any fines on top of this bullshit. Take down this number right here. This is our number. I'm extension 401. And we would give them the Grasshopper number.
Right.
And then we go through about 4 or 5 minutes and then be like, if we get disconnected, contact us back here. And we hang up the phone. And if they went through that call and went down to the securities department and called back, we knew it was over every time. It was a matter of steps from there.
So what do you mean? They're calling back the Grasshopper number and they're going through all of the options?
They're going through the tree just like it's the Starbucks line.
And so it's
when like they hit the securities department, it gives all the other names, but they have the extension for Kevin White.
Right.
And so, but if they'd hit any other ones on accident, it still would have come to me too. But if they hit Kevin White, we got him. It's the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And once they'd call back, then the process would be to do the count. We got to count how much hundreds and how much 50s and 20s. And it's a stall process because what you're doing is you're getting ready for the drop. We knew they banked at Wells Fargo. So when we said, well, we'd finish the count and then we'd know exactly how much money was there. And the trick to getting it out of there was being like, hey, look, I can't afford for you to leave right now. You go check the fire extinguishers, make sure they're all up to date. That's a $10,000 fine apiece. Run around and check everything. Send a trusted employee down to do the deposit. We'll put him on the phone with another officer, and he can go do the deposit at Wells Fargo, And they'd pick somebody, and then the object became keep them apart. You know what I'm saying? Because this kid's never been to the bank. The number's not going to look weird to him if it's a different number. Mm-hmm. And we'd play a game with him. We can't let you leave without knowing your odometer reading and your license plate, but we'd get him to send his driver's license first. You can't go on company time and drive around without us knowing you have a valid driver's license with company money. Back then, if you had a copy of your driver's license, that was all you needed for localbitcoin.com. So we'd go to Local Bitcoin and verify an account in his name. And with his driver's license, you just had to wait like 30 seconds after you uploaded the license. And then we look for a Bitcoin buy for Wells Fargo deposit for that amount. And we get it put in escrow. And they'd send us